Two cops with the Los Angeles Police Department have been fired because back in 2017, when they were called in to help with a robbery that was in progress at a Macy's, they decided to ignore those calls for help in an effort to play Pokemon Go. In fact, they were on a mission to catch Snorlax, which is one of the Pokemons that's apparently meant to bring good luck, which is kind of ironic considering the fact that they were fired as a result. Luis Lozano and Eric Mitchell are the cops. They were since fired from the department as a result of this. They caught Snorlax, as well as an ultra rare Togetic. That's a Pokemon ironically said to bring good fortune. So Snorlax, I guess, is just a regular Pokemon. The Togetic is the good luck Pokemon. They caught both, but they also caught feelings when they got fired. Now, the pair actually appealed their firing with the courts, and it turns out that just recently, a judge decided to uphold the decision made by the Los Angeles Police Department. And just to give you a few more details in regard to the robbery that they decided to ignore. According to court records, Lozano and Mitchell were working a footbeat on the day of the April 2017 robbery. And it was reported from a shopping mall in Baldwin Hills. A department captain making his way to the chaotic scene at the Macy's store at the Crenshaw Mall noticed another police vehicle idling in the alley and then peeling away, okay? So Sergeant Jose Gomez, monitoring the situation from a watch commander's office, radioed the car and asked the officers inside to respond to assist the captain. He received no response. Then he radioed them again and received a very short reply, no, and that wasn't it. So they were probably referring to catching the Pokemon in Pokemon Go. But nonetheless, they've been fired. They deserve to be fired. And remember, we hear all this messaging in regard to how important policing is to keep us safe, especially right now as violent crime has increased, not just in Los Angeles, but across the country. And these very people who are tasked with responding to robberies apparently didn't feel that it was important enough to do so, and instead continued on with their cutesy little game as if they had no responsibilities.
So that is kind of breaking news when a cop is fired for not doing their job.
Right.
Oftentimes, it's viewed as completely normal. Like when they caught feelings during the George Floyd protests, a lot of police departments did slowdowns. Well, what the hell is a slowdown? That means, well, I'm just not gonna do my job. So if you got raped that day, I'm not gonna follow up. Maybe we'll follow up on murders, maybe we won't. A robbery, we're in the middle of a slowdown. We're chasing Pokemon instead. But yeah, a lot of times it's viewed as perfectly normal. Like the media will report the slowdowns and then not make note of this is outrageous, right? So,
I have more details. They're amazing. They're incredible. So when they appealed the firing, they made the case. They tried to make the case that we were dealing with chaos at the time. There was loud music, so we didn't even hear the call for help. And so it turns out that not only did they hear the call for help, they were captured on video actively discussing whether to assist the captain. In fact, Lozano said, "I don't want to be his help." After their supervisor made a second attempt to call them, Mitchell said the decision on whether to respond was up to Lozano. Screw it, the other replied.
Now it makes sense. Because there was something about the story that didn't make any sense. Cops getting fired for not doing their job. That's Tuesday, right? So they didn't help the captain. So they pissed off another cop. That's why they got fired. Of course. Otherwise, they could chase the Sploraxes all day long and nobody's gonna give a damn. So it's just like when the only time rich people ever get arrested is if they stole from other rich people. Right?
Exactly. They upset the captain. That is, of course, the greatest offense, offending a police officer or a police official. And they lost their jobs as a result of that. But remember, we're talking about a robbery. A robbery is a violent crime. Robbery indicates that the individual is usually armed and dangerous, right? It's different from a burglary where someone breaks in and enters. And with this violent crime taking place at that very moment, these two cops decided playing Pokemon Go was way more important.
It's kind of almost a lighthearted story, especially when it comes to cops. But I'm going to end it on a Debbie Downer. If they had instead beaten an African American and it wasn't on tape, they definitely would not have been fired. So that's the state of policing in America. And yes, most people think it's normal. Certainly the politicians do.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. I really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.